Greetings, weary travelers. Come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel. I am your host, LotusOfDoom, in the middle of this Whitestrake's Mayhem event where we're taking a brief hiatus from playing an irresponsible amount in-game to record a podcast, because, I'm not gonna lie, this is literally, other than something that requires me to be out of the house, the only thing I've done other than play Mid-Year Mayhem, or I guess Whitestrake's Mayhem at this point. However, I also have two guests who were kind enough to take a break and sort of represent the other two alliances, because we're fair and balanced on this podcast or something. I don't know. EP forever. Anyways. So that voice you heard from the traitorous AD side of things would be Avron. Welcome back, Avron.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And also representing the way you should act when you're on the Daggerfall Covenant by leaving it to come to the Evanheart Pact would be Doc.
Blue, you guys. I'm wearing blue to be fair and give Daggerfall recognition because they're still awesome. I just like PvP and EP better because we actually win sometimes. And all my friends are over there. I don't be by myself.
You need new friends. You need new friends.
Like, all my PC friends are yellow, and then all my PlayStation friends are EP. So I'm just, like, when I was Daggerfall, I was just by myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right. Look at it this way. This is as fair as balance as this show is ever going to get. So take that for what it's worth.
Wow.
Yeah. To everybody joining on the live show, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This week, other than the event itself, which is taking place, there's, not joking, zero news. Like, it does not exist this week, which is great because we can just kind of do our tales of battle and all that stuff, kind of just have a nice little short show, just talking about that. And then, that'll really kind of be it. This will be a more fun version because the last couple of shows also, which we've gotten some great feedback on as well. I'm really glad that the episodes with Red Diamond and Deltia have been helpful to people interested in the PvP side of things. I figured they would be useful chats, and I'm very glad that some people have reached out and said that using the different things we talked about or just exploring different things that were mentioned on those episodes have provided people with some decent amount of fun during this event. So that was kind of the goal of this. However, those were a little more technical, so to speak, whereas this is just, I've been having a shitload of fun with this event. I know Avron has been farming possibly as much as I have. I was going to say, Doc, usually when we see each other in Cyrodiil, end up running around together. So this is more of just like chatting about the event itself rather than any of the technical details that we've done in some of the previous weeks. So with that being said, thank you again for the continued reviews being dumped in for the 5-star things, specifically on Spotify. There's like a ton of them now, so thank you for that, because I was just told recently, I've said that I don't understand what that stuff does because it's whatever. Apparently that does actually help, where I speculated maybe it does. Well, it turns out it does. It pushes you forward in the algorithm or whatever. So more people can hear the sultry sounds of all of the people who are on the podcast with me, and also you get to listen to me. So that's appreciated. The upcoming 300th episode is still on the horizon, which is mind-boggling. And
Crazy.
Feel free to keep reaching out to the show or to me personally on Twitter, or you can leave messages on whatever, the YouTube, wherever you find them. Feel free to send them over to us, email them to us if you would like, over at Dungeon Crawler Network Gmail, I believe Ark said it is. I don't know. I don't check that one's he's in charge of. So, but yeah, Twitter's an easy way to do it. any fun memories you have of the show or, guild-based stuff, because, we had like a much more organized guild back in the day. But even still, a lot of you have run with me or run into me in-game and stuff like that. So I've been adding them all together for the kind of memory lane thing on episode 300. So please feel free to keep sending those in, and we'll try to use as many as I can on the show. With that being said, it's Whitestrake's Mayhem, which is technically new. I mean, it's not, but it is. Yeah.
It's just a bad name.
It's a more lore-friendly name than me obnoxiously doing
mid-year.
Yes, beginning year, mid-year Mayhem.
Lore-friendly.
Yeah. Yes, lore-friendly.
Quotation marks.
Yeah, it's lore-ish. So, regardless of the name, it's the PvP event. So that's what it is. So this event, for anybody who does not know, you get your tickets like usual for PvP activities. And on top of that, there is also the biggest draw, at least to me in the event, which is double AP. And if you want to level up, this is the time to do it, to unlock those skill lines, to have, whatever unlocked, your war horns, any of that stuff. But I will throw it to either of you. How's been the war effort going? How are things so far mid-event?
Mine's really quick because I haven't done the event except for like one day. So, I did Battlegrounds because I have not had a lot of time to play any ESO in the last week because I've been trying to catch more hours at my bookstore and everything. And so and so I did do Battlegrounds because I was like, well, I still want to partake in the event because I enjoy it, even if I'm not the best at PvP. And I like Battlegrounds. But so I just did it on my Daggerfall character because it doesn't matter when
everyone's green, orange, or purple in there anyways.
Pretty much. And thankfully we didn't lose. We didn't win. We were the middle guys. But I have not been in Battlegrounds. I haven't done PvP in a really long time. And I realized I am not equipped for today's PvP anymore. Like, oh my. Like, I died so much. I mean, I got some kills. Like, our team, to give you an idea, like, on kills, because it was just deathmatch. It wasn't an objective or anything. That's what I was about to ask. It was, and I like objectives, so I did the random queue, not specifically deathmatch, and I still got deathmatch. So
spoiler alert, if you do deathmatch, you'll get deathmatch. If you do the objective mode, you'll get deathmatch.
Pretty much. Choices. And so,
no choice.
To give you an idea, we made second place, but I led our team with my big, strong back with 4 kills. So
what? I'm really proud of you, Doc.
Thank you.
That's also amazing that 4 kills and you guys pulled a second place.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I had 4 kills. 2 of my teammates got 2 kills and then 1 got 1. And so I felt special that I led my team valiantly. But we got second place. Which I was happy because I got my loot. Because that's all I really cared about was I wanted my loot in the mail. So, because I was like, the queue took forever. Like, it took like a good 15, 20 minutes. Wow. And I was not happy. Yeah. I was like, oh.
That's
because it was the first day of the event. So,
the
I was
queues
like,
were probably not lacking. They were probably broken.
Pretty much. I didn't expect much. So it took like 15, 20 minutes. And to be honest, I was like, oh, that's not too bad. Like, so that's my little story of this event. I plan to do more, and I'll probably try to equip my EP character and run with you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say,
because I need people.
Yeah, no, you can definitely run around with us. We've been server hopping a lot.
Nice.
Just to do stuff, because as much as I really, really, really wanted to get in some Battlegrounds for this event, I refuse to participate in this ridiculousness of it just being team deathmatch.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
The worst.
I'm fine with people wanting team deathmatch. That's great. I get it. But like, I was pretty let down with the upcoming change to the queue system hitting after this event, which is just like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been just chasing low pop bonuses or people pushing for Emp or whatever in the various campaigns, or chasing a hammer, which we'll get into later. But how have you been doing, Avron? I know you're fighting for the wrong side of
magical.
things.
No, I'm the correct side of this little triangle here. Let's just clear the air. I love PvP anyway. I have a group. We do it once a week, if not more.
Yep.
We don't live in Cyrodiil, and I definitely don't live in the battlegrounds now because, like you, I'm very disgruntled with the changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss the variety of death. Not.
No, the
not
variety
death,
of death
like,
is actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, actually, the variety, like different ways to die. But I miss the variety of battlegrounds. But that's like, we could have a whole separate podcast on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I want to call it Vineyard Mayhem. I love Whitestrake's Mayhem. I'm also high enough now in rank that without double AP, it just feels like a slog.
Oh yeah,
to get anywhere, because I'm rank 37 now.
Yeah.
So I know you and me, we need like literally millions of AP just to get to like grade 2 of our ranks. And it's just like, ouch.
Yep.
But man, the first day of this event, I got 1.5 million AP.
That is a nice chunk.
We went in and we just had fun, and it's really such a good event. And I really hope, and I'm seeing now this year more than any other year, which is really nice. I'm seeing more PvEers who are previously kind of like anti-PvP in the event this year, and I love it. Like, it's so awesome. So like, I think that's really nice. So it's like a doubly fun event this year because, one, everyone loves double AP, but two, I just see more and more people getting into it, and that's like really exciting.
Yes, it's funny you say that, because that's something that I've seen quite a bit of. And some people might be trying it out and be like, yeah, this is totally not my bag. Like, I don't want anything to do with this, which is that's fine. You're not going to know unless you try it.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot of people messing around with it. I've seen a lot of people, this is actually kind of contrary to what I ran into last year, I guess it was last year, but last time during Mid-Year Mayhem, it was actually my least favorite Mid-Year Mayhem because it was just booster central. And I hated it. Everyone was just boosting. Everyone was just farming everybody, trying to do quests and stuff like that so that they would quit. And I'm like, this is why no one is playing, which is problematic for me because I need people to kill out here. Don't read them off the field. Stop it. So I'm glad that, I'm sure that's still happening, but at the same time, it's been less of every server is like that for me. And I've got a decent amount of time in. So I'm definitely a fan of the way that people are just giving it a little bit more of a shot, or people just seem to be less shitty to each other this event. Because the other thing that I, have notoriously mentioned when, back when I got crowned Emperor, half the messages in Zone Chat were, good job, blah, blah, everybody's like shouting out. And the other half, who you can only talk to people on your own side, were telling me to get fucked, which I'm like, you're on my side. You actively get a benefit from me being crowned Emperor. Like, why are you angry?
That's funny because I did my Emperor push years ago now.
Yes.
And actually I had to hide offline because my side was so vicious to me. And like, I was getting like whispers, mails. They were just saying in Zone Chat, like, report Avron. She's not in this campaign. Who is she? Why is she getting Emp? And I'm like,
oh my
okay, cool.
Yeah.
This time around, I'm actually trying to actively be more of like the person in Zone Chat that's just kind of not being overly polite, but it's just being more like cordial to people that are obviously new. And someone's like, how do I do this? Oh, like, here's how you do this. Or someone got mad the other day because we were in a little group and they were like, oh, you zerged down my guy. And I'm like, hey, it's Cyrodiil. Like, we group up, like, and they were kind of like, rah, but then they ended up following us around and we all had a good time. So like, I'm trying to do more of that too,
Yes.
So like, I think that's just kind of what makes it nicer.
Right, which is weird. I don't really know what's causing it. And I've actually seen some in chat where some people are mentioning that they've seen kind of similar. So that's cool. But yeah, the self-alliance hate out of jealousy is really embarrassing. You're going to want to...
Stop it, guys.
Yeah.
For all you know, if you were nice to these people, they might help you get emperor next. Like, what the heck? Like, that's insane. There's so many people who help other people push for emperor.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a jerk, I'm like, I'm not going to help you. Like, screw that.
Yes. And so I've been glad to see that, like, when I've seen people get crowned emp this event, people have been... I can't speak to whispers, so I mean, I'm sure they still get some, but like the majority of people in Zone were just like, oh, good job. Like, oh, an awesome job, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, where are we screwing up now that we have the Emp buff? Because that's the point of getting Emperor. You get superpowers.
Yeah.
And your side benefits as well. You get benefits directly from that, even if it's not you that actually got crowned Emperor. So like one of the things which I again, don't quite know what the reasoning is, was last event, it seemed like very few people actually cared about the new edition campaigns. Because during this event, they open all the extra servers because they're too packed. Like, the queues are already in the thousands for, like, Grey Host and stuff like that. You'll never get in. Like, the event will be over and you'll almost be through queue. So, like, there's no point. So they open up the extra ones. Last event, I noticed that basically if you wanted to play the game in Cyrodiil, you needed to go in Blackreach or you needed to go in Grey Host, which both have massive queues because they're the 30-day campaigns. Mm-hmm. All of the freshly opened queues were different alliances basically just choosing one other faction to work with. So there were two sides and they would just Emperor boost flip. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't want to cooperate, you basically had an uphill fight against both sides, which was very unpleasant when other people were trying to do anything, because then if somebody got close to pushing up on your side and other people are collaborating with the enemy to do it, was just like, it was a very unpleasant thing. This time, no matter which campaign I go into, they're not all balanced. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's plenty of map trucking and stuff like that, and that's how this goes. The difference is, though, people are actually, like, fighting for stuff instead of, like, okay, take the keep, so then we can take it back, and then you can take the keep, and then we can take it. Like, okay, this is so lame. Like,
yeah.
I've never done that before.
Oh, you traitor. I don't know what it's like on console, but it's funny. Me and a friend were talking about that this morning when we were doing our coffee and Alliance Points little, thing. But
coffee and AP
on PC, yeah, coffee and AP. We do it for the queen and the bean around here. But we noticed too, like at least on PCNA, that my home campaign is actually the non-champion point campaign. I don't know why. I just ended up there and I like it. I haven't had a queue the whole event, by the way. I've been able to go to whatever map I want. Yeah.
I looked at Grey Host once,
now.
Like just for the sake of it, right before I abandoned ship on that being my home campaign, because that's always my home campaign. Yeah. I tried to get in when I got home on Friday or Thursday. And I clicked on it, and I think I was 2,647th in line. And I was like, okay. So anyways, we're not ever touching this.
But the one thing we've noticed is that the non-champion point, even the 7-day ones that they add for the event, the non-champion point maps on PC at least are very much like just pure objective. Like people actually just play.
Awesome.
There is very little, if any, toxicity, which is mind-boggling awesome.
I know, it's weird.
And when it happens in so chat, people are very quick to be like, no, bro. Meanwhile, I went on a CP campaign today. I had a blue working with a red. Like they were not killing each other, but they were killing me. And then they teabagged me, and I'm like, I haven't had this in like months, man. Yeah. Like this is real crummy.
Is it Halo?
Take me 101. No, but so like, if you're struggling in some campaigns, really I think trying out different ones. But non-CP is so fun. Like, yeah, you don't have champion points and we don't get the hammer, but it's just pure PvP fun because everyone is doing just pure objective and everyone is very satisfied and grouped together. It is just, it's a good time.
Yeah. I've been jumping around a lot because I try to explain how it works, but I'm pretty sure that it's like one of those things where nobody really understands how the low population / short-handed bonus works with this. But there are 2 buffs that you can get in Cyrodiil for sides. One of them, if you look at the leaderboard, it will kind of look like a cell phone signal where it's like 3 bars. And when your side has that, you basically get another multiplier to your AP bonus, which is real nice because the idea is it's supposed to encourage people to go in there to balance things back out. There's another one, which it's much more rare, but it looks like a little radar dish or a piece of pie, and that can go next to it. And that is the same buff, and it's only ever happened what I've seen once where our side had both of them at the same time and resources were worth like 20,000 AP apiece. I have zero idea how these work. Generally, the idea was that it's a low population thing where like, your side doesn't have that many people in it and the other sides just vastly outnumber you. Yeah, okay, but that doesn't really, I don't know.
There's other things because I was in 2 different low pops today and one resources were like 8,000 a piece. I'm like, heck yeah. And then the next one, they were 3,000. I'm like, wait a minute.
So,
like I'm going back to the other map.
So
yeah.
There was also one, and this is why I'm like, look, I get the idea of low pop, and if as a rule of thumb, that's kind of how it works. Like, okay, it seems like if your side's shorthanded, that's probably a better chance at it. There was one where our side was the only one. Like we had 2 bars. Everyone else had 1 bar at one point in a new server. We had low pop. And I'm like, that objectively cannot be low pop. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So there's something else to it. I've never heard a concrete explanation to how it works, but just when you're playing, if you suddenly see a huge spike in the amount you're getting for doing anything, it's like take a look at the scoreboard and it'll say it. But yeah, that can be real nice if you can stack a couple of those, especially when you're on a big run. And it's something that is a lot of fun and can kind of speed you on your path. And a lot of times people get more organized when they're getting a low pop bonus because everyone wants to maximize that. So if you do see infighting, it's probably not going to be as extreme then because like that's not how you're going to earn shit. And when you get the extra bonus, it's really good that, you try to just get a little group. Even if you're just flipping resources, you can really, really add up quick.
Oh, yeah. It adds up. Especially now because you have the scroll, which is 100% AP gain. Yeah. You can get a delve buff, which is 20%. And you can eat a tort, which could be anywhere between 50 and 100 and 150 if you're one of those special people that gets the mythical ones. But we've been getting stupid amounts of alliance points and it's glorious.
That was going to be one of my questions because I wasn't really sure because like I said, I haven't done PvP in forever. But can you stack like a tort and the scroll?
Heck yeah.
Sure can.
Can you? Okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
My character's going to be so fat off torts after this event. Like, just non-stop.
Nice.
Also, shout out to Grammatron Dryad, who is friend of the show, another extra lifer, as well as frequent guest on the the Red Diamond Courier as well podcast. Just kind of did a clarification on like a little more detail to kind of some of how it goes with that. I'm just going to read out exactly what Graham said. Low pop and the other is points earned related. If you have no scrolls and only X number of keeps and resources, there's the morale boost. Might be for and which that's like the little radar dish in that case. That would be the morale boost, which I actually kind of like that as like a way to explain that. So it's just kind of like be a little bit more detailed. But yeah, to your point, all of these bonuses you can stack, which when you're really going for efficiency, you obviously need make sure you have your event scroll up. That is your most important buff because it doubles everything. Then if you get any weird situation map related about low pop or morale, that's another big bonus. Then, but you can't control that one. That one's out of your control. That's map control. So after that, then you definitely want to go with your tort, which there are the 3 types. It's a food that you can consume and stacks on everything else. It will literally use the same symbol, I guess, on your bar as if you use an experience scroll. It works exactly the same. And then the delve bonuses, which shout out to a previous year. I might have told this on the show, but I just thought, talking about like good sports in PvP, I was in a random Zerg. I think this was back when we had 24 people allowed. Hashtag bring back 24 person.
I know.
I get it. That one actually was screwing up stuff, but so much fun. But I don't think it's a myth anymore. But originally there was a myth that if you killed all of the bosses, that's how you get a delve buff, by the way. So for anybody who doesn't know, you go into any of the delves around Cyrodiil, go in, find the named world boss. They'll have a special symbol. They'll have a specific name. If you kill them or get a hit on them and then they die, you will get a 1 hour 20% bonus to your AP. It'd be like the war bonus or whatever.
Blessing of War.
Thank you. Blessing of War. There it is.
AD knows what's up. See?
So speaking of knowing what's up, this is what I want to call out for this story. I don't remember the person's name, but in this random group, we went in and they were convinced that if you killed all of the bosses, you could get 2 bonuses. You got 20% and then it went up to 50%. That is not how it works. It will re-up your timer, but 20% is what you have from getting that shot on them. But they were pretty adamant about it, and they were just saying it, and like they were going over. Actually, Hazard, I believe, was in that group with us, who's in chat. And we dropped the first boss, and he was like, all right, on to the second boss. And everybody starts following suit. I was like, we're wasting time. We don't need to kill the second boss. We got an hour. And he's like, no, it goes to 50%. I was like, it doesn't go to 50%. Like, we can leave. And he's like, no, I'm serious, man. He's like, not a lot of people know this. I was like, not a lot of people know this because it's not a thing. We can really just leave. And like, I was trying not to be a dick about it, but I'm like, we don't need to do this. Like, we can just move on. Like, let's just go with the fish. Yeah, okay. So yes, Hazard was there because he said it's one of the funniest things he's ever witnessed. And the guy goes, I will bet you that it works. I was like, I will bet you anything on the planet right now. He goes, 100K says we get 50% buff if we kill the next one. I was like, okay, you're on. Is that all you want to bet? He's like, that's all I got on me. I was like, okay, I will bet you any amount of gold. And we ran over, killed him, and he goes, well, shit, where are you so I can give you 100K gold? And he was so nonchalant. He didn't put up a fight. He didn't try to come up with some backdoor like, oh, well, I didn't mean. He just goes, well, shit, that's not a thing. It's like,
hey, you scienced it.
Right.
I mean,
so it was the
a little money on it to make it juicy.
Fastest 100K I think I've ever made.
Nice.
Dang.
Yeah, it was very funny, but he was a really good sport about it. So I thought it was exceptionally funny because usually people are going to try to weasel out if they do something, and he was just like, nope, that's not a thing. Here's your 100,000. Let's go back outside. But yeah, so. Those are definitely things that you want to try to grab whenever you get the chance. It really can just passively boost up your things. The only thing I ever suggest to people as you kind of learn the rhythm of Cyrodiil while you're out there, and you guys can both probably attest to this, sometimes if there's a lot of chaos going on, it's better to stick with that even if your buff is about to run out or does run out, like a delve buff. Don't sacrifice an entire keep to try to get a buff because it ends up not being effective. Like if there's a lot of chaos happening and you can get an actual alliance point tick or help capture something, or you can go off the beaten path and grab something, finish the fight first and then go get the buff, because you can miss out on a lot of stuff by trying to grab buffs at really inopportune times. Wait for downtimes. It's not the end of the world to, get them above all else, because you'll screw yourself out of a decent amount of AP if you always have to have that buff up. Let it run out if it's a be-all, end-all type of thing, and it doesn't matter super, super much unless you're pushing for Emp. The other thing, the war torts that we mentioned for food, those do not apply to your leaderboard ranking or your AP earned, so you will not see that you're getting a bonus. It is passive. It just goes to your skills or your ranks.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a good, like, if you're like me and you're just trying to rank up, and it's like I always have a tort, and it's not impacted by like champion point food durations either.
No, it's just a
50
minutes.
Flat.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
50 minutes of tort, and then I don't actually know what the other two do. I've never seen anybody with the 150, and the hundreds are way too expensive for.
I've got some. Don't worry.
Oh god.
Yeah, and the only thing with the tort that drives us all crazy is a lot of foods and a lot of drinks. Even like experience or like the scroll that we have for the event, you can just refresh it when you're nervous. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna like forget, so I'm gonna refresh it. You can't do that with the tort. You actually have to wait for it to hit 0 times.
Yes, nice.
And
like
then you
scroll,
have to, remember to go back. So my group is hilarious. We will run around and literally like every 5 minutes, someone's just screaming, "Tort check! Tort check!" And we're all like, "Holy crap! Check the tort!"
That's organized. I like that.
If you're on PC, there actually are add-ons that will help you with that.
There
but
are.
Sorry, y'all, console. See, you miss out, y'all. I don't know what to tell you.
We did the old school tough way,
right? I'll miss my AP buff like a champ. Something that was actually just brought up in chat, which I was going to be something that I was going to actually talk about in Tales, but since El Timtor brought it up, I'm going to kind of bring it up now. I don't know if either of you have ever experienced this. I had not until this event, and it is weird. El Timtor writes, question for those more experienced in PvP than I. The other day, I tried to leave a delve in Ciro, and I could not. The game kept telling me the zone was full.
Oh, weird.
Is that a thing? Yes, apparently.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't happen very often, but it is a thing.
It is a nightmare thing, actually, which Hazard and I specifically ran into last night, which was not great. We went in to get our delve buff so I de facto was made crown when nobody would organize. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Everybody, I'm now a crown. Just get in my stupid group. And we filled the group like immediately. I was just like, great. There's 12 people who just, anybody could have just grabbed these people, and I don't want to lead, so this is lame. But whatever. I was like, we're going to grab a delve buff, then we're going to go get resources, and we're going to find where the fighting is, and we'll just try to help. We go into the delve. We organize up, kill the boss, try to head out, and same problem. We open, it starts to load, and then it goes blank, and it says the instance is full, cannot port. And I'm like, well, that's not great. So we try again, thinking that it was just like a weird loading bug, which happens every now and then, and it keeps doing it. So we actually break up the group, which was literally just formed to try to get out there one at a time in case it had something to do with our grouping. And a couple people were able to escape. The rest of us kept getting the bug on repeat. And I was like, this sucks.
Oh, no.
So we are in our instanced delve, and Overworld is now full. So basically, from my understanding, is you need to actually try to scoot yourself in when there's a spot in queue. Like, once somebody leaves, you go back in. It is so it's mentioned like in chat. It's the pop lock. Like, Overworld Cyrodiil is now locked. The problem with this, which is, I don't know, there's no way they haven't thought about this or whatever. And it's not super common because you're dealing with this in pop lock servers. You can't port anywhere when you're in the delve because you're in Cyrodiil. So you can't travel to players. You can't just leave Cyrodiil. I can't use an escape stone to get out of there because that would require me to go back to Overland. We literally just sat in the delve complaining that we were trapped in this eternal hell because we couldn't do anything. And I'm like, this is the worst. So basically, it sounds ridiculous, and a lot of times, oh, queue for BG. That's actually a pretty good idea. I like that. I was going to say that's a very good.
Yeah.
What is it? Undecided PSN. Thank you for that. That's actually a great suggestion. Is queue for a BG, because then at least you'll have some way out. What our strategy was, which eventually worked, but it is super infuriating, is smash escape the delve on the door, like interact with the door just as aggressively as you can, because it will keep loading, and then God help the person who had to step out for a minute, because you will take their place, and that's what they get for not immediately being at their controller 24/7.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's what, yeah, and I guess you can go to IC as well. I don't really enjoy IC as much. I see it as much more of a PvE thing for me, because usually we're running around in there, and it's just, there is a PvP element for me, but that's another option. So port to either one of those, it'll give you an out as well. Otherwise, just keep clicking the door. Hopefully you can scoot in. Because otherwise you're kind of just trapped there without going to a different activity, which is a little awkward. Yeah, so have you guys run into anything else strange during the event, anything like that? Mine's actually been working pretty well. I've had a few lag spikes in a couple servers, but for the most part, my performance has been pretty good as well, which is delightful. Also, sort of the unfair advantage of having a PS5, so... One thing that is, I'm sorry, Doc. I was going to say, one thing that I definitely was noticing was when I was porting around with my group, I was always first there, even if I didn't port first, which was like, so
it's like you blink and you're there.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
ridiculous.
just like, I'm just never going to miss ticks. I see how this works. So it's like, I like this much better. But yeah, no, performance has been great for me. I don't know about you.
And even on PC, I also don't go to Grey Host. Sure,
Grey Host.
I've never been into Grey Host, and everyone knows Grey Host is where, if you have a lag issue in PvP, that's where it is. So why go there?
Magnified to the extreme.
Zero problems, not a single queue except for Battlegrounds, and then I noped out of that real quick. But like it's been a glorious event, y'all. I'm having a lot of fun. No complaints from Avron and the Dominion.
Could have a few complaints from the Dominion at least. I don't care for that.
Because it's the Dominion.
Yeah.
We get special treatment, y'all.
My God.
Except now you can't even go into Somerset. So do you really get special treatment?
That's actually my only complaint, which has nothing to do with the event, because it's literally been happening since the Daedric War event. I get kicked out of the game when I port to Somerset, which is, if you know me, you know how hilariously ironic that is, because I'm like the Dominion and Somerset's #1 fan, and it's just like, nope, not allowed. Here's the load screen.
Yeah, that is
actually. I've only had one bug, and I'm curious to know if this has ever happened to anyone else, because I put in a support ticket and I haven't heard anything, and now I'm getting nervous. So you do conquest missions in Cyrodiil, and you earn proofs, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And proofs, you combine them with these envelopes. Mm-hmm. They're both consumed, and you get some goodies.
Yeah.
my proofs do not get consumed.
And you keep getting goodies?
No, I won't, because I'm like, that's an exploit.
Okay.
Because it's like, sure, I could buy 5,000 Siege Stomp or Emote boxes and Knight of the Circle chess pieces and make $1 gazillion, but like, that shouldn't be happening. So that's my weird thing. And now I'm afraid to do anything because I'm like, I don't want to get banned.
Interesting. Also very responsible because I
know I'm actually being a good person.
I know.
Yeah.
See, now this is one of these things where it's like, look, definitely use your discretion because I don't condone exploiting and stuff like that. But I would absolutely test that like a bunch of times before. Like I would submit it and I would be the person who's like, does it work on each of the different items? Does it work if I do this? And then I'm going to afterwards be like, crap, I have like 10 of these things. It's like, now what the hell do I do with them?
I'm tempted to go test it again and see if it was just one time
was
or
it a
anything,
fluke
because
or
I
not?
put in a ticket, but I haven't heard anything, and we're going on like 3-4 weeks, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. I have not heard that from anybody that's
It's just me. I get all sorts of weird things.
Yeah, that's weird. I almost have the 50 I need for
nice
the costume chunk, whatever it is, the middle bit, I think it is, which from my understanding, that's still worth a decent bit because it's obnoxious to get. I don't think
they're all expensive.
Yeah. Well, everybody loves the Timber Crow one because
yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Because obvious reasons.
Right. Because clearly it provides you adequate protection in battle.
Yeah, just like these new styles that are dropping. They're, real protected.
That was another thing that I wanted to mention was, the new style is apparently the new hotness, according to Twitter.
It's actually nice. It is a nice style.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because that's literally, I've never seen so much excitement over a costume piece since possibly like the Timber Crow or the Zen chess piece, which is just, that's where everybody's all about that life. But yeah, it's something to spend your tickets on, for sure. And yeah, also for anybody who might not know, if you are aiming to get tickets during this event, there are 2 different types. You get one from doing the quest from a battleground and or one of the ones in Cyrodiil. You can do that once a day, and it will give you 2 tickets from that one. And then if you do a quest in the Imperial City, that will give you 1 ticket. So you can get 3 per day. I have done 0 of the Imperial City ones. I've done the the Cyrodiil one so far. But yeah, so just running around in PvP can be super fun. However, if you are aiming to get the tickets, make sure to at least turn in one of those quests each day. Because otherwise you're not going to get your tickets from the event. All right. Well, here's my question for you next is, you mentioned roaming around in Cyrodiil. Doc, you've mentioned you're hoping now to get some more time to actually play.
Yes, I need people.
Well, I was going to say, after the show's done, we should definitely group up because that's what I'll be doing after this.
Okay.
What do you call it? Got any good war stories for us, Avron? Anything of interest that you've managed to do? You said you have been, I said 1.5 million on day 1 there is...
We didn't try that hard. It was just, we were just laughing at how we very vastly underestimated with torts and everything now, because torts weren't around last mid-year. This is like the new thing.
Right.
Like how much that contributes. But good war stories. Honestly, it's just so funny because my PvP group literally started as just me and my friend Tatanko. And it has grown into a group thing now. That's like so once great. A week, we have like a giant group. We all just laugh and we have fun. And we have literally just been running around. We've flipped every map yellow. Like we just pick a map. Oh my
god!
We pick a map and we just go in and we're riding. Everybody follows. We just go have fun. We don't care if we die. We don't care if we win. We've had some really fun battles the other day with a group of Covenant players. Shout out to all of you. There were like 40 of them. And we had about 4 separate battles with them. And we wiped them every time.
Oof.
And I felt real bad. But I was like, hey, there's only like 5 of us. That's pretty impressive. Like, you have to be impressed.
Oof.
And then Thursday, we're going to try to help our one friend get Emperor. So hopefully that'll be my next war story.
Awesome.
So we're going to try to get an Emp. And other than that, like we're just running around having fun. And honestly, like we had that. And then today we went into a delve. And there was a DC player there. And, you know, you do like the universal sign of like block to show like, hey, I'm not here to like fight you. I just want the boss.
Yep.
And we were whispering each other, you know, like they were whispering saying like, hey, we'll tell you when the boss is up on this side. He's like, okay, I'll tell you when. And it's like just nice to have like little moments like that. And then, of course, you know, who do we see bombing us at a keep battle later is that guy from the Delve. We're like, hey, it's our friend.
Hey, I remember you.
I remember you. It's been really fun. And I enjoy it because I don't know, like I said earlier, I just feel like more people are getting involved. It's just so much more fun when like the whole community kind of comes together because it, you know, like PvP has such a bad rap when it's really but there are people everywhere, whether it's PvE or PvP, that give things like bad reputations. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like we can't argue that, but it's nice to see. I just feel like more people are willing to give it a try this time. And I know like I've heard from some people, they're like, oh my God, this is so much fun. Like I'm so into this now. I've joined a PvP guild and I'm just like, yeah. You know, it's like I don't live in Cyrodiil or anything, but I love PvP. And it's just hopefully like things like Battlegrounds and Imperial City get some love and they can, you know, because outside of the event, I don't know about console, but on PC, no one's in the Imperial City.
No, you can kind of just farm whatever you need in Imperial City.
Yeah,
it's usually like a bar at that's about it. Cyrodiil and the main campaigns and stuff like that is pretty busy still. You usually pop lock come after work and stuff like that. But like, you know, this is pop lock on multiple. But yeah, it's much slower. It's nothing like this event by any means. So from my experience this event, so right before the show, actually, I had mentioned pre-show that I jumped in and I just grab a random server to make my home campaign, so to speak, because I'm not pushing for Emp, so I don't care. I just want to go where the AP is good and where there's where there's good fights. And my home server of Quagmire was just straight up beyond dead. Like dead is an understatement, but my wife and I got back from the gym and I was like, okay, well, while we're hanging out, making breakfast and like watching something on TV, I remote play to my laptop downstairs when I'm doing this event because I'm just always doing something, even if it's just brainless. So while we're like having breakfast, I'm kind of just one hand running around and I boot into that one and it's early because it's like 9:30 or whatever when we get back. And Quagmire has low pop. And I was like, oh, awesome. Let's see what's in there. And I go in and most of it is blue. There's a little yellow and we don't even have a resource. We have objectively nothing. So I'm like, I can't even do wall repairs in here. Like, what is like? There is actually nothing to do in this server. But my buddy Hazard signs on, and I was like, oh, cool. 2 of us in no CP, we can probably pretty quickly flip resources. One manning resources for me, my build isn't really designed to one person resource. It's really slow. And it's really hard to not pay attention to what I'm doing. Like, I actually have to try to do that. I'm not just going to breeze through it. But 2 of us, I was like, we can flip resources. So we get ready. We got our torts and everything like that. And then somebody in zone is anyone looking for group. And I was like, oh, perfect. A 3rd person.
Nice.
So we group in. And then all of a sudden, his group starts filling. And I was like, oh, okay, we actually have like a group of people here. And we went to like 10 right out the gate. I was like, wow, we get 10 people. We can actually like...
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is fresh low pop. Like, we're not losing this buff for a while because we literally don't even have our front door. Like, we have nothing. So we went out the door and we just started flipping resources, then flipping keep. resource, keep, and we weren't running into nobody. AD didn't care. They went to bed because we just weren't fighting AD. Like, I don't know if we ever found an AD.
We do that, we're like, man,
yeah, that's fine. We're all done. But there were DC players out there, so it wasn't it wasn't like there weren't enemies, but it was like a lot of PV door, but there were definitely some people specifically loving to do the Dark Convergence than Necro Bombs.
I love Dark Convergence.
I love it in concept. The worst.
I hate it when it happens to me, but I love the gear.
And so Dark Convergence, for anybody who might not know or is new to PvP in general, is a set where when you throw a ground AoE, it forms this black hole that just pulls people in. And then everybody just drops all their damage in the middle and just blows everybody up. It's a really strong set. It was nerfed to be better because when it first launched, it was unbearable. But now it's just very strong. But the one thing that is horrible is if there is a lot of server lag and you escape Dark Convergence, and then the game rubber bands you back into Dark Convergence, and then you escape Dark Convergence, and then the game rubber bands you back. And I'm like, I'm getting double pulled into this. Like, this is not fair. But Dark Convergence is rough. However, we've got people doing that, but we're taking them out. We're flipping resources. All this time, we've got, our AP buffs, and our group making the most of it was everybody get on your delve buff, everybody get on this, but like go. And we managed to get about, I don't know, it was pretty close to 750,000 points this morning. Like, it was ridiculous. I think we were averaging about 300,000 an hour. It was one of the highest I've been into in a while. And while doing so, we crowned an ep. Also losing the low pop bonus, but which was funny because one person was very salty over it, which we're talking about, and they just got buried in people congratulating the guy who got.
That's right.
And I was like, oh, that's not something you usually see, is like that much positivity. So that was pretty cool. Congrats to whoever that was that got crowned. I don't know. I'm paying zero attention to leaderboards. I know I'm like 8th on them or something, and I was like, why am I so high up this? But that's just because there's been a lot of low pop in Quagmire. So
it's been a fun event.
It is. It's very active. So that I always like. Shout out to my buddy Trevor, who I don't know if you listen to the podcast, but if you do listen to the podcast, you're going to be mad about me shouting this out. As he was on DC and he tried bombing a group on my flag, which we do sometimes to each other. People screw, if we play on other alliances, we'll screw with each other.
Nice.
But I actually saw him go into stealth, and I don't think he knew I was there at first, but I went over to the wall of the tower at one of the resources we were at, and he prepped up and went in to bomb all the people clustering the flag, and instead I hit him with a lockdown and then knocked him back with Dragon Leap, so he missed his bomb entirely, and I completely destroyed him and ruined his fun.
Dang, Trevor, he sold you out.
Yeah, and he told, and then he whispered me saying that I was an asshole and ruined everything.
That sounds beautiful to me. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was funny, and if you did hear that, enjoy. Try better next time, because I was going to say he's bombed me 1,000,000 times, so I was very, very pleased to be able to get him this time. But
that's awesome.
My I think he was worth like 800 points is way better than him getting like 14,000 for blowing up like all the poor people on the flag.
It's like you gotta buff yourself up and get all that stuff ready.
Yeah,
and
so
it's like, all right, shoot.
Oh, yeah. It's a roller coaster of emotion.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, that was definitely a high point. And then the other thing that I wanted to shout out for my tales specifically is my never-ending quest on getting Volendrung Not for myself, because I actually have grabbed Volendrung, and I can grab Volendrung and get kills with Volendrung. Like, that has never been, like, an issue. If I'm ever able to touch the thing. Everybody is, like, all up on that thing when it drops or whatever. But, like, it's fun, and you can really wreak some havoc when you have a good Volendrung wielder. There is an achievement, Volendrung Vanquisher, for killing the wielder of Volendrung. In other words, you need the other side to have it, and you need to kill them. I was informed that much like some of the other kill achievements in the game, you just need to get the game to register enough that you get an assist, and it should pop the achievement.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've been told. However, I don't know if it's just, calculation, so it didn't consider it. I have had so many situations where I have not just come close to killing the person and definitely would have gotten assist. There's one where I was told that I avenged people and I still didn't get credit for the kill. I'm like, well, then who got the kill if it wasn't me? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, so this thing has eluded me, like, for a very long time. Last mid-year, I went on my tirade about the other team who wouldn't pick up the hammer. They actually stared at it and then ran away.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, no, they just literally wouldn't pick it up. So we killed them out of spite because they wouldn't pick up the hammer. And then our team got it, and they wouldn't put it down. Like, our team ran the map with it. I was like, no, give it to the other team, damn it. Like,
give it to them for 5 seconds.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous the lengths people will go through to apparently not pick up the hammer around me on the other team. But late last night, when the server was pop-locked from all directions, and we were fighting back, toward our side of the map, and the hammer drops straight up just on the DC base. They're just like, here you go, DC, have a free hammer. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to sign off after I dive at this idiot until it goes back to oblivion. I am just going to kill myself on the hammer over and over again until I either get my achievement.
You get it.
I was like, I have no self-preservation. I'm just going all offense. Like, that's... And we went in, and everyone apparently organized together at this time because all three alliances were like, give me that damn hammer. So it just turned into a 3-side war of all 3 people. I don't know where anybody else was on the map except this damn hammer, because I haven't seen a fight like this in, like, a long time, where even on a PS5, my frames were in trouble. It was just like, it looked like an ocean of blue came down the hill. And as we, like, ran at them with, like, I don't know, a good, like, 90 people, from the side, yellow flew into, and we're like, oh, great, this is just literally everybody at once. I don't actually know what keep we were at because nobody cared about the keep. Like, the fight didn't even take place in the keep, like, at all. Nice. It was all out in the field.
It was all the hammer.
And everybody just kept flooding this hammer. And
that's
just
amazing.
Like, well, the thing was, there were so many people dying on this thing all the time. No one cared about stopping each other's camps because we just had very visible camps from all 3 sides just chilling in the middle of the field. So people were dying and just resin right next to it and running back in. And it was just absolute chaos to the point where there was so few people trying to do anything to stay alive. The 3 sides started setting up siege equipment out in the field to just bomb the lines.
That's amazing. That sounds like a fun fight.
It was it lasted the entire length of Volendrung. Eventually, it goes back to oblivion.
Wow.
That's how it was, like a half an hour of just this. So I was like, well, I've got a shot at this and all this chaos. The problem is I can't even tab target the goddamn hammer at this point because I can't even see. So I'm just looking for the spire of, like, light coming out of the hammer wielder. And I dive in a couple times with Dragon Leap. I screw up a bunch of people. I get some assists, just getting constant AP from everybody dying all the time to each other. And I'm like, all right, this isn't working. This isn't working. I know what I'll do. So I set up 3 cold fire ballistas and just started firing them into the horde of everybody.
Nice.
And all I was doing was aiming for the spire of light, which is the hammer wielder. And it's hard to see because I had damage numbers on. That's usually how I track what things are registering or not. But there were so many numbers I like couldn't even see because it was just like you fire one ballista and it's like, congratulations, you hit 72 people. I'm like, great, I'm never going to see anything again. It's just all numbers. And the hammer wielder comes down the front stairs of like this like little rise in the field right as I fire a ballista, and it catches him directly in the face. And I'm like, this dude is done. And he has 1%.
No.
And I dragon leap on him, and it tells me all the people I avenged, and the hammer drops, and I still don't get my stupid achievement. So my only assumption is I killed somebody else that was in that pile who had an insanely high kill streak or something.
Oh my gosh.
But like, based on that, if it was an assist-based system, I cannot fathom that I would have not gotten enough credit to have that like pop, because I would have obviously helped. And basically this just went on and they blew up my sieges, and I got one of those like dwarven machine guns. I don't know what they're called. The ones you get from the antiquities.
The Lancers?
The Lancers,
Yeah,
thank you.
Dude, those are so fun.
Yeah, so I had a couple of those, and I was like machine gunning into the pile and and everybody just, the hammer would drop, the hammer would be picked up, the hammer would drop, the hammer would be picked up. And I was like, it seems almost impossible that I'm not getting this kill somehow.
Dang.
And my buddy Hazard, who I've mentioned, he's trying to get he's killed the hammer. He's never gotten a kill with the hammer. So he's diving in just to try to pick it up off the dead people and just immediately use ultimate just to try to get at least someone. And the problem is, there's so many siege bombs on the thing. People are picking it up and just flopping over before they even finish their animations. But yeah, so the entire length of Volendrung was there, and right as they got pushed back onto whatever resource it was, possibly lumber. He mentioned he thinks it might have been BRK lumber was where this was outside of. The hammer wielder, somebody gets it for more than 1/10 of a second and runs into the tower. At which point, all siege is just pelting the tower to just like melt this poor person. And like they get up to the top and he runs in. We all run in. I was like, I'm getting this thing. And the hammer kills the person from not being fed and goes back to oblivion. And I was like,
Oh.
So, yeah. So I still don't have that stupid hammer kill.
Is it bugged? Like, is the achievement bugged right now?
I know
where it's just
so
not
many people who
counting?
have it. In fact, I was going to say...
Like, recently, though?
Oh, yeah. One of the people I believe that I'm friends with even showed me that. They were like, is this the one you're looking for? I was like, yeah, that's it, all right. Like, and it was like this event. So it's like, it's definitely doable. It's just, like I said, my guess is I had to have clipped somebody else who was on like a crazy kill streak. And that's why I was like, oh, you avenged this many people. Because it's, like I said, I couldn't even tab target the person with the thing because there was so much chaos.
You know,
Right.
I think there's something that you can try.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried being AD? I just, you have to do it. I love you, Lotus, but
I'm waiting for the moment, though, that I
What
like...
if that actually happens and then he gets
I go
the
on
achievement
Guarnir,
almost
I walk out in the
instantly?
field and immediately one-shot the, like, hammer wielder or
And you get the
something like
achievement.
that on
Yeah,
Guarnir
you know,
or something. It's just like one set of jabs, and it's just like, that's all it is.
Amazing.
No, I actually don't. I have the same thing. That's the only. I think that's like the only achievement outside of ranks that I still need in the PvP category is to just kill the person when Volendrung. But I don't play in a campaign with the damn hammer, so
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I gotta go find it.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate that they don't. For anybody looking for the hammer, for the most part, they do not drop in no champion point campaigns, which is
They do not.
Oh,
unfortunate.
that's good to know.
Yes. So if you're trying to get the hammer or fight the hammer, you're going to want to be in a server with champion points. But yeah, that's the only kind of weird caveat to that, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Me either. I don't understand the reasoning because it's like, but they do. the longer the game's out, the more you find like the weird ways that like champion points and or achievements are linked to things in ways you think
would not
they
expect.
wouldn't be. So maybe it's something like that.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely kind of strange that's the case, but yeah, my quest for killing the Volendrung wielder continues. I don't know if you know, killing the Volendrung wielder gives you the ability to say, I got 15 points achievement that says I killed the Volendrung wielder, and nobody actually cares except me.
It's true. We want them.
Yeah.
But if you pick it up or kill someone with it, if you kill someone with it or kill the person, you do get that really nice furnishing of it. The best 2 million AP you'll ever spend.
That's what I was going to bring up. You
It's
get
so
a
pretty.
Volendring for your house.
Yeah.
Which
It's epic.
it's real cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's real expensive.
It is. It has come within my grasp so many times, like literally to the point where it gives you the prompt to hit X to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So many times.
The channel to
and
pick
then
it
somebody
up
else, and I'm like, no, I'm pushing the button, and somebody else does it, and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, that person
I
probably
hate
had a
this
PS5. They registered their Xbox.
Me and my PS4 problems.
Yeah, that thing, the channel to pick it up
Curses.
is the most stressful thing imaginable, because it's just like picking up a relic in Battlegrounds where your character's like reaches above their heads, pulls their arms. It's just grab the thing, just grab it and smash somebody. What are you doing? Like, yeah.
Oh, though capture the relic is legit, like probably my favorite objective, and I'm really good at it. But Volendrug apparently I'm not very good at. You would think, but
Well,
apparently not.
I was gonna say, luckily, it's been fixed. But yeah, back in the day when there was the thing where you could pop in a movability pot to pick up the relic too, and nobody could bash you off it, which was.
Oh, what? I didn't even know about this one. I never know about these cool bugs till after they've been fixed. Like, for real. Probably because they know I would probably, totally take advantage of it. So they're like, nope.
But, yeah, I think, why is my OBS is being weird? Because it always has to be weird. Whatever.
You still got time to get this achievement.
Yes. So I was gonna say, that's really that's really kind of all I figured we would tackle. I was kind of hoping this would be around an hour and a half show, because again, it was not like a huge time. Oh, and apparently for everybody retroactively, Rob the Princess brought up the fact that congratulations to everybody checking this out on the live stream at Lotus of Doom. On Twitch. Apparently you're all getting drops. I had zero idea, didn't advertise that, so enjoy that since I didn't know you were getting them. Ta-da!
It's dropping, unlike the Volendrung Slayer achievement.
Rip.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. That's
Maddie
the
said
last one I need too in all of Cyrodiil, other than my Cyrodiil specific. That's my
I'm the
last
same.
one.
I just need ranks and then that one. So I might have to go out of my way maybe tonight. I'll go find that hammer.
Go for it.
I'll find you, hammer wielder.
Oh, if you get that before me too, that's gonna cut me deep because I've been working
You want
on
to race? You want to do it?
All right, you know what? Yeah,
All right,
you know
Oh
what?
my gosh, here we go.
Let's
A
do
little
it.
friendly competition.
Yes, well, I was gonna say we'll actually have a Twitter race. I because we can't even bet gold because I don't play on PC enough.
No, it's just glory. It's just bragging rights.
Yeah, so glory. All right, I'm down
let's
for
do
this.
it.
All right.
Watch, I'm just going to be standing there and I shoot an arrow and I kill him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Doc's gonna be like, "Hey, I got
literally
mine."
just going to be standing like, oh, I wasn't even trying. Oops.
Sorry, Lotus, you did 99% of the damage, but I got that sweet kill.
I would feel so bad though. I would be like, I wish you could give you my achievement.
All right, yes, I'm on. I was gonna say, first person to get their hammer achievement needs to flex it with specifically insulting the other person by tagging them.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, we're on. I love it.
I like it.
I almost want to see you get on Guarnir, though, to see if you get it. I kind of just want to see.
That would break Ark's heart, like, to the nth degree. He's like, you did it on the Eldmeri Dominion. It's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. It was the character was there, made to be an insult.
It needed to be done.
It's gotta happen.
We don't make the rules, you know what I mean?
Shared achievements, man. Shared achievements.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. With shared achievements, it would totally work. Like, that's...
Yep. That's all you need.
But, yeah, so with that, where can everybody find you? We'll start with Avron. I was going to say, where can everybody get a hold of you, Avron?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at AvronDoodles, and that's AVRON. Yeah, and I hope to see some of y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us again, representing.
A pleasure.
Representing the AD.
For the queen!
God. Anyways, Doc, where can everybody get a hold of you when you're not now somewhat regularly here on Tales?
I know. I'm liking it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Dr. Hoodat219. And also you can find, because I represent UESP. I don't know what that just happened, but something happened. Something fell off my wall. But yeah, and yeah, Twitter, Instagram, UESP Discord, yeah, those places. Yeah.
All right, and you can find me at LotusOfDoom wherever I have an account set up. It's fine. I don't follow my stuff or not. I don't care. It's whatever.
You want to follow those so that you find out if he actually gets the achievement.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, yeah, that's a good point. But then don't follow me if I don't win. Because I don't need to hear about everybody being all up on me for losing if I do. So I need to win this, actually. But also, before we close up, one thing that I did just want to shout out, as it's a recent thing that was just posted on Twitter, friend of the show, Bronze Solo, as well as former host of the show, Hyperpixie, they are engaged and getting married. So yay!
So happy.
So shout out to both of them. They obviously have both been on the show before. Pixie was a host for a long time, but yeah, much love to you two. They found each other via ESO, so it's all coming full circle there.
So sweet.
Yeah, so congrats to both of you. Very happy for you. And as for the show itself, you can find everything we do over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including, well, my Twitch, which is Lotus of Doom, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show, and consider leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes or on Spotify. So thank you all so much for doing that. So people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of Whitestrake's mayhem, everybody. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magic effused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.